have we got here? Nice little infrared thermometer, heat gun with a laser pointer on it. We'll be able to get an accurate temperature with that. And I got my thermostat for my THG heat element for my beehives. And we're going to install all this and we're going to show you how it works. If you open up your beehive in the wintertime and it's real cold outside and them bees is clustered, they're not going to uncluster and seal the hive back up with resin and propolis, because they can't, because they're having to stay clustered to survive. And you know, I would recommend, unless it's an emergency, not to open up your hives in the wintertime. I know some people, well, I mean, if you catch a pretty good warm day or something, you know, when you feel like, well, or you see the bees flying out, you'd probably be all right. But if it's super, super cold and you take that lid off, you just broke their seal that they had sealed. And you also, you let in a lot of cold air and heat out of them. So, but what I've done here, this is just an old cheap form of putty weather stripping. And everybody knows that heat rises up through a hive. And I would recommend everybody on their hives, you can buy this, you can buy rubberized weather stripping, you can buy foam weather stripping, and yeah, the bees will do this in the summertime. They'll propolis the boxes together. That's why you see people, you know, with a bee tool having to pry the boxes apart. But in the wintertime, if it's really, really cold, they won't. So what you should do, if you're going to get into your boxes, is run you a bead of weather stripping around it. And that way, when you put that top on there, or what, you know, whatever, you put that top back on there, that weather stripping is going to help seal up any gaps or anything around there, just like the bees propolising it, to make it, to keep the heat in, you know, and the cold air. It's the same difference. But that's just one of my thoughts on that real quick. But we wanted to show you, I'm just about tested and finished with this. If you'll come around here, now this box was 60 degrees inside of this box, I guess about 30 minutes ago. The probe was reading 60 in here. Now I set this thermostat to 75. Now there's no bees in here. There's no comb. All it is it's got some empty frames in it. There's nothing in here. So it's having to heat this whole pretty much empty area. And we know if there's bees in here and comb in here, the more amount of mass you have in a space, the less heat it requires to heat it. My plans were to go to town and to buy an outside electrical box, like that you put an outside light switch in, or a outlet. You know, they make weatherproof outdoor boxes, and put this in it and mount it to the back of this beehive. Now this probe, this thermostat has a probe that reads the temperature. I've got that probe stuck down right here in this bottom hive box. And then you plug your heating element into this thermostat, the heating element down here that's heating up these boxes, and the thermostat plugs into your drop cord. And I already know that this will work. This will work, people. If you live in a really cold environment, you live, you know, some people in Ohio, Virginia, up north, Canada, and you know, where a lot of times in the wintertime in Alaska, your temperatures don't climb out of the 30s much, or the 20s, and you're having a lot of freeze outs and dines. This right here would save your hive. Now let me give you some facts. I have an aquarium beehive right there inside this building. Okay, I'm able to observe that hive all the time. It stays around 70 degrees in this building all the time. And I've watched that hive in the wintertime. Them bees never cluster. They never have to stay clustered in this hive. And they also, I've noticed that they will fly out and forage an hour and a half to 2 hours earlier than all the other bees in my outside hives. They're already flying out. They'll fly out in 30 degrees. And because they have heat inside that hive, they're not having to stay clustered. Do I have to feed them some? Well, I feed them some honey in here, but that's another plus. They're able to get to the honey and eat their honey stores, and they're able to eat feed that I give them because it's not frozen, it's not crystallized. So this is a plus. This is something that I'm giving to you for free. Not trying to make no money off of it. I'm just interested in helping beekeepers and saving the honeybees. This in a cold environment will save your bees. Now we're going to break this hive down and we're going to show you how it is and what's on the inside, and we're going to give you a picture of it. I have a temperature gauge in there that's showing the same thing that this thermostat back here is showing. Okay, so we know that's right. Right here's the back, the thermostat here. Here is the probe that you'd stick it down in here in the bottom box. It reads the temperature. Okay, all I had in it was empty frames. Now if you'll look here, I'll show you how I've got this. This is the back of the bee box here. I'm gonna take this hive body box off. This is a commercial bought screen bottom for a beehive. Commercially bought. It's the kind that's screen bottom. It has the, as you can see, it has the slide-in plastic piece. And all I've done is I took my heating element and I slid it. See, the bees cannot get to that heating element. I slid the heating element. It's on top of the plastic, and I slid the plastic in there underneath the heating element. Now the heating element don't get hot enough to melt this plastic, and the bees cannot get down to it. You see here, and that's a commercially bought. You can buy them at any bee supply, or you can build it yourself. But it's a screen bottom board, and you put your plastic thing in there in the wintertime to cover up your screen so that the air ain't coming up through. And all I've done is just slid my element in there like that, and we broke it down for you so you can see. But this works, and this will save your bees in a cold climate. But you can jump and run another element off the end of this. You only have to have one cord, and I'll put the link below. But you can punch holes in this end and run you a wire and go out the bottom and go to another beehive. You only have to have one thermostat. And you know, if you have say you have 4 or 5 hives in the same area, you know, right alongside each other, you could buy 4 or 5 of these heating elements and jump them. Just punch a hole through here and a hole through here, and hook your wires to it just like it is here, and jump to another hive, and then jump from it to another hive, and jump from it. And see, this thermostat, it's reading the temperature in this hive, and I know it'll vary some from hive to hive, but with a thermostat, it shouldn't be that much variance, and you would be able to heat several hives in a row at very low cost. I only have, I believe, $23 is what this thermostat costed me. I have $23 in this, and I paid $4, I think, for this cord, and this heating element is $3 a foot, and this is a square piece here, 12 inches by 12 inches. So for $23 For about $29, you can thermostat heat your beehive, and all you would have to have is another cord. And like I said, these are $3, and you could jump it and jump it and jump it, and you'd be able to heat a lot of hives this way at a very low cost. But this is just one way that we wanted to show you that we thought up and thought about it that would help prevent freeze outs. It'll help your bees to be able to get to their feed in the cold. And we just wanted to share this with you. Are we crazy? Yeah, we're a little bit crazy around here. We rednecks, yeah. We think outside the box and we do things differently than people, but hey, so ain't a lot of other people out through history, and that's where we come up with some of our great inventions and great technology we have, because people wanted to try something different. Now, I know some of the old timers probably laugh at me for trying to heat bees, but years and years ago there was lots and lots of honeybees, and nowadays there's not. And we don't have the populations in America that we once had, so we should try to give the bees every advantage and every helping hand that we can. And so this is our idea, and we're sharing it with you for free. And we hope that it'll be a help to all beekeepers. Thanks for watching.